Okay, now I'm going to teach you some more about scientific notation. What you have is two numbers in scientific notation, okay? You need to multiply them, but there's a special way you do it. All this is multiplication. What we want to do is split the multiplication, so I'm just multiplying my 6 and 4.8 and then my base 10s. Okay, so 6 times 4.8, 28.8. Write that now. Now I put base 10 and then I add the powers. 4 plus 2 is 6. So come over here and write, or actually go down here, 28.8 times 10 to the 6. Now you're just about got your answer, and I know that seems kind of simplistic, but remember the rule for scientific notation. You can only have one digit in front of that decimal that's not a 0. Right now you've got 2. So if I move it here, I have 1, the 2. But then I got to change my exponent, okay? So I moved it one place to the left. I put a 1 next to that 6. I got to now decide if I plus or minus. Well, I moved it to the left. Moving it to the left is plus, so it's 6 plus 1. So that's going to be 2.88 times 10 to the 7th power. Okay, we're going to do 3 more. So I take the 0.6 and multiply it by the 0.2. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to take 10 to the negative 3rd times 10 to the negative 5th. .12. Now remember, with the 10s, you add the powers together. Okay, that's how you multiply exponents, adding the powers. That's negative 8. So write 0.12, actually go over here, sorry, 10 to the power of negative 8. Now you need one digit in front of the decimal, and it can't be a 0, okay? You have the 0 in front. You need to get it so there's only a single digit in front. Well, if I move it here, now it's 1.2. That's what I want. So I moved it one time, but I moved it to the right this time. When I move it to the right, I need a minus because that would signal negative. Okay? So 1.2 times 10, negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. And that's that product. I want the products written in scientific notation. Okay, next up, we take 0.5 times 6, and then I take 10 to the power of 4 times 10 to the negative 14th. 0.5 times 6 is 3. If you get 3, put 3.0. Okay, just put a 0.0 behind it. Then on the 10, we add the 4 and the negative 14, and that's going to be negative 10. Okay, so now write it 3.0 times 10 to the negative 10th. And you need one digit before the decimal, and it can't be a 0. Well, I already have it. I have one digit in front. It's a 3. 3 is not a 0. There we have it. Okay, next one, 0.6 times 0.3, and then 10 to the negative 8 times 10 to the negative 3rd. 0.18. At 10, you're going to take negative 8 plus negative 3. That's negative 11. Okay, so write 0.18 times 10 to the power of negative 11. Okay, you need one digit in front. The only rule for scientific notation is always one digit in front of the decimal, and it can't be a 0. So why don't you move it, and it's 1.8. But I moved it once, and I moved it right. Right means I will minus. So negative 11 minus 1 is negative 12. Okay, why don't you pause the video and work on 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll show you how to do the rest of Okay, now the next one, now you're dividing numbers in scientific notation. Here's how you accomplish that. It's very similar to multiplying, you just do division. So you're going to take 2.6 divided by 1.3. And then you're going to take 10 to the power of 14 divided by 10 to the power of 4. So I divide these, just the base numbers. That's 2, put 2.0. Now remember what you do on division with exponents. You get rid of the 1 on the bottom and then subtract it. That's 14 minus 4 is 10, so it's 10 to the 10th. So we have 2.0 times 10 to the power of 10. And one digit in front, it's a 2, good. Done. Okay, now 4.5 divided by 9, and then 10 to the negative 7th divided by 10 to the negative 3rd. So I divide those 0.5. Now remember, we get rid of the 1 on the bottom, and then minus negative 3 from the negative 7. Negative 4. Okay. But I don't think you want to leave your answer like that because you need one digit in front of the decimal and it can't be a 0. Well, if I go here, then I got my one digit. It's a 5. So 5.0 times 10, but I moved it right, so I put a 1. When you move it right, it's minus. So negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. Okay, next one, we take 4.2 divided by 2.1, and then 10 to the 8th. You just split up the division, basically. So 4.2 divided by 2.1 is 2. Again, let's go 2.0. 8 minus 11 is negative 3. That's okay. So we have 2.0 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Okay, so I divide that, that's 3.0. Negative 2 minus negative 3 is 3. So 3.0 times 10 to the 3rd. Okay. And you don't have to move, okay, again, I went too fast through those last two. You have one digit in front, you're good, okay? Decimals here, one digit in front, and that digit's not 0, so we're good. Decimal here, one digit in front, that's not 0, I'm good. I don't need to move it like I did on this one. Okay, and then you got 7 problems to do then.